lovely people who cannot sit at home. Thank you so much for joining me. In this video, we're heading for Toronto Islands, and in my opinion, I'm going to show you some very unique things, the things that usually you don't think about when you're heading for the islands, that you can experience there. We're also staying there for the weekend. We are staying there in the Airbnb, which is really cool. So over here, you can see us taking the TTC. I did not want to park overnight downtown. Then when we got out of the TTC, it was raining. And it was pretty miserable, actually. It was raining pretty hard. We took the water taxi. The reason why I like taking the water taxi is because it's $12 one way for each person, but it eliminates you standing in line. But on the way back, you're free to take for free the ferry. So over here, I'm showing you some of the really cool artworks that we have seen right away in Wards Island. By the way, we got off on Wards Island, and over there was our Airbnb, but the Airbnb is not ready. It's only going to be ready at 3 o'clock. So we are over here at Frida's Park and Garden, just checking things out. And then we just went to explore, really. It was not that bad in terms of the rain because the trees will cover us. And again, more artworks. It was so cute. I feel like every other house had this like artwork booth. I don't know much about it. Please let me know if you know much about it. It's the whole Wards Island artists. It seems like there's so much artwork. Very cool. The trees also on the island are insanely tall, much taller than in the city. It was very interesting. And just the houses on the Wards Island are really cool. Wow. The view is definitely gorgeous, even though in the rain. So going back to the houses, the whole of the islands used to have all of these cottages. But I think somewhere in the 50s, I might be getting my dates wrong, the government created parks and moved or relocated majority of the cottages. So the only really places that still left are on the Wards Island and Algonquin Island. We're going to be there later on. So over here we're heading for the Riviera restaurant. We're kind of going from the side of the water, but we couldn't get in, so we had to kind of go around. It's not that long.
At front, follow path.
And we saw this cute little coffee, I don't even know, it's really cute. So the reason why we're going to lunch, even though we're not really that hungry, is because it's raining and we might as well eat. So over here is our burgers, the cat. So this is a 6-toe cat. It's I think that's his name, and he actually has an Instagram. I'm gonna link it down below. And he was the king of asking for food. He was just everywhere. Though, by the way, when he was sitting on the table, he got shushed pretty fast. But he was so adorable. Dessert was great. Sandwiches were amazing. My burger was amazing. It is on a higher price because, of course, this is the island, so it is kind of expected. And over here, we're finally getting to our Airbnb. So the people who owned the Airbnb were so sweet. They knew that it was raining, and they got us checked in a couple of hours earlier.
I wanted to tell you about my new Weekend Getaways road trip journal. This just recently came out on Amazon. It's one of my books. It's all about weekend getaways, and I'm gonna link all of the information down below. And I also have, of course, my regular Ontario road trip journal, which is the spring and summer for daytime tripping, and my fall winter if you would like to go on a day trip in fall or winter.
And here's the beautiful room as you walk in. It's very small. It's just one kind of studio. There is a little mini kitchenette. There is actually a huge TV and queen-size bed. The bathroom is beautiful. The shower is gorgeous. Everything is brand new. I absolutely loved the people who owned this and the space. Everything was pristine. So after the check-in, we actually went to the beach and we had a charcuterie box. I got this. I'm going to link down the lady's website down below. I just kind of found her on TikTok, and it was a really lovely snack for the two of us. So their Wards Island is all with, like, there are cats everywhere. And anywhere you go, and not only are they everywhere, they come up to you. They come up to you, they ask to be petted. It's just the most adorable thing. I think we saw at least 15 cats. It was crazy. So here we are heading for, I think this is called Wards Island Park, and we're kind of going through it. This is the eastmost side of Wards Island, where it's basically the other side is the Cherry Beach. There's some cool graffiti on one side. And the other side has this point. So this is next to Frida's Beach, the one that we were just sitting at. It has basically kind of like a point that goes into the water. Beautiful, beautiful view. And here's the Wards Beach. Beautiful beach. I actually really love this beach, but it is a bit not a lot of people right now because I guess it was raining, and here's me trying to get into the water.
Why?
Those sound effects are how warm the water is, and again, cats, birds, lots of activity.
Hello. Hello.
Next, we checked out this gorgeous mosaic. It's a willow tree. It's right next to the Island Cafe. I just can't believe that everything is done in stones. So Willow Square, this is over there is an explanation on what that is. And here I asked for a lemonade and iced tea mixed together, and we are just chilling at the Island Cafe, drinking and looking at this gorgeous view. So now, as it is coming closer to the sunset, we have brought our watercolors and some watercolor paper. And over there is my mom also prepping to do some painting. And we decided that if we're staying over at the islands, we might as well try to do some kind of a sketch with the sunset. It was, over here is my mom's painting. It was quite the challenge because it's actually very hard to paint sunset because the sun is in your eyes. So it was interesting. It was definitely an experience. Here's mine, and here's my finished piece. And yeah, the sun is already gone. So, and here's my mom's finished piece, also beautiful. Oh, and she also sketched this plant while I was still working. I don't know, it took me much longer than her to paint. And there were a couple of people who came over and asked what we were doing, so it was nice to show people what we're doing. And that was it. We chilled a little bit at the beach and headed back to our place where I watched some TV. I got some tea, and now I wanted to, I don't know why, but I just wanted to get hot tea and go look at the beautiful skyline view of Toronto. So over here we're kind of going towards Island. The Airbnb is like 5-minute walk from the viewpoint. It's beautiful. I never get tired of looking at the Toronto skyline. I think it's actually one of the most beautiful skylines, or maybe it just means a lot to me. But yes, here it is. Very beautiful. The night went really well. We slept really well. Here's a book that the Airbnb had, and it's just cool to see different photos of the island from the times past, like from the 50s and just when it was developed. It was a really lovely book to kind of look at and read a little bit. And here we are exiting and getting ready for the new day. Again, me with my coffee. I guess I am into having coffees and looking at the skyline. It is what it is. I did like it. And I think this was like 7 in the morning, and it's already over there as a kayaker. Pretty crazy how dedicated people are. It's amazing. And we continued walking. Over here is a snake that is not a real thing. It's a decoy so that I guess people don't step on their kind of front yard. And over here is the cutest, I don't know, tree house with cool seats. It's just, I want that. I want to be in there. So creative. We sat on those red chairs and we were looking at people getting into the Wards Island on a ferry. Not a lot of people right now. And then we headed for the Island Cafe because it opens at 8:30, so we were just waiting for that. We got the coffees, we got the muffins. Everything was freshly made. Beautiful, really great stuff. The breakfast sandwich was exceptional. I actually was really impressed with the Island Cafe, how how great quality the stuff is there actually, because I don't know why I thought it would be something just, you know, pre-made a while back. But no, everything is fresh. They also have really lovely garden. I think you can sit there and just like relax and look at the different garden things growing and flowers. They have a mint garden, and they have these dragons also nearby. Never seen that. I think they even supposed to have flames coming out of them, like at least at some point they did. So a whole field of kale. I think the Island Cafe uses it for the food. So over here we're heading to Algonquin Island, and they have a community pantry.
Chandelier. I want a chandelier.
Some of the stuff is so beautiful. I actually recommend that if you do go towards the island, take some stuff that you have just to donate, and maybe you will take some that they have. It's so cool. It was a really nice little pantry. Toronto Island's SUP, so the stand-up paddle boarding. There's lots of kayaks and paddle boards to rent if you would like to. And there's also a disc, basically frisbee kind of throwing game. We didn't have that, but that would have been cool. Then we went to the church. This is a little church. I think it's called St. Andrew by the Lake. They had a service there, so it was really cool to hear some singing. And we're getting to the Central Island. It is very nice. The fountains, they are just reminding me of when I was a teenager. It was really cool. And bicycle rentals, we are getting the quad something. In the beginning, it was a lot of actually words that I cannot put over here. It was a bit of a learning curve. My brake was down, so it was very hard to paddle, and only up until I figured out the brake issue, because I think it was kind of falling down. Oh, it was challenging, but then it was fine. Here's a Gibraltar Point and the beautiful lighthouse. So over here is Gibraltar Point. We stopped over here, but this was basically where we turned back. And over here is the Hanlan's Point, which is also like 2 minutes of walking. You can just walk there. And it's clothing optional, so the only thing I could show you is just the view. There's this thing sticking out in the middle of the water, so that was interesting. I never saw that kind of, I don't know what that is. If anybody knows, let me know. And then you see Mimico over there, or New Toronto as some people call it. And yeah, for our lunch we had the Greek food right by the Central Island Pier. And for the dessert we had beaver tails. I got the banana-rama over there, which is essentially Nutella and bananas. It was amazing. I haven't had actually I don't think I've ever had beaver tails. They were excellent. And no trip to Center Island is complete without going onto the pier. It is very beautiful. I definitely love it. It is busy, of course, because there's a lot of visitors, but it's the quintessential thing to do when you're there. The weather is starting to get a little gloomy, so we are heading back to the city. This was at about, I think this was about 3 o'clock, so the lineup was very light. Over here I'm showing you the Swan Lake. I think it's literally like there's a swan park or Swan Lake. So many swans, it's so gorgeous. So yeah, if you are heading back at around 3-ish, it's not that bad. You can get a seat
and assist you in evacuation. Sufficient life jackets and life rafts are available for everyone.
And we didn't have to wait in line, which is amazing. But I think after 5 o'clock, oh my god, it's such a challenge to get onto this ferry. It's not a challenge, it's just like you will need to wait a few ferries before you head back. And over here I'm just showing you the lineup. It's ridiculously long. If you're taking the ferry, definitely try to go in the morning. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you check out the Toronto Island, and please subscribe, like, and share if you enjoy my videos.